Priya, I have gone through unaudited financial reports of the year under your analysis. By and large, we have done quite well. But our performance has really taken a beating because of one single item. Your report says we incurred huge loss on derivative transactions. Can you explain to me what is this and who has done this transaction?
Kaushik, this transaction was entered 3 years back before I joined the company. Last month, our banker asked us to pay this amount. That is when I came to know about derivative contract and studied about it. It's a complex contract. I took some time to understand the contract. It is signed by you and hence we had no option except to honor the same.
I vaguely remember that I signed few such contracts some years back on the advice of your predecessor, Balakrishnan. I could not understand much on the contract, but I went by his suggestion. If my recollection is correct, we made some money out of this contract last year and before that. Bala once sent me a note that we made some good money from the transaction. We might have signed few more contracts of this kind.
Yes, Kaushik, we made some money during last 2 years, but this year the loss is so huge that it wiped out all our earlier gains. Fortunately, this contract expires this year, but we have 5 more contracts of this kind.
Priya, the board is going to pull me up on this. I can't plead ignorance because I have signed the contract. Can you give me some insights on these transactions?
It is difficult to provide insights because of the complex nature of this contract, but let me try. We borrowed 3 million Swiss franc from our bank at 3% interest and converted them to rupee. We got 150 million INR and purchased a commercial paper issued by a corporate with rollover facility at current market interest rate. The initial yield of commercial paper was 11%, but it has come down over the years. Off the face of it, we should make 8% spread on 150 million INR if there is no forex risk and no change in commercial paper interest rate. To hedge currency risk, we have made couple of derivative transactions. Since INR Swiss franc market is not active, we first purchased call option to buy US dollar and another call option to buy Swiss franc. To part fund for this transaction, we sold out of money call options on INR USD and USD Swiss franc.
Terrible. Why we borrowed money in the first place and that too in Swiss franc? We have a small export and that too in Euro market. I don't recollect neither Bala nor the relationship manager of the bank explaining the transaction details to me. They were showing me a few scenarios along with the money we can make under these scenarios. I remember some colorful graphs.
Borrowing is not the purpose of this transaction. After borrowing, we immediately lend the amount through commercial papers. If there is no movement in the currency market, we make money. If the movement in the currency market is in our favor, we make lot more money. This happened in the first 2 years. This year, everything worked against us. Rupee depreciated against dollar and dollar also depreciated against Swiss franc. The out of money call option hit us badly.
Unbelievable. Have you studied the other 5 transactions?
Yes, they are much more complex and baffling. If we cancel all these transactions or take reverse position today, it would cost us rupees 310 million. So far, we are hiding the potential loss because our accounting regulation allows us not to report such loss unless we incur in our main accounts. But this year, we can't avoid this because market-to-market accounting regulation has come into force.
You are really scaring me. I might lose my job if I explain everything to our board. We struggle hard in creating a great product and building a loyal customer base.
I feel we should be transparent with our board and explain all these 6 transactions. If they approve, we should cancel all 5 agreements by booking loss. We can plead our ignorance and assure the board that we will never enter into unwanted financial transactions henceforth.
I agree with you. Even if the board sacks me, at least the company would be saved. During the conversation, you mentioned that we have lent through commercial papers. What is it?
High credit rated companies raise working capital finance directly from the market by selling commercial papers. Investment bankers facilitate such transactions. When we directly raise money from the market, the cost goes down. If we borrow money from banks, we need to pay for their operating cost and also risk.
We should explore commercial papers to part finance our working capital. Our working capital requirement is going to increase considerably. We also need money for our expansion and 2 acquisitions that we are in advanced negotiation. What are other options?
For working capital funding, in addition to commercial papers, we consider factoring services. For long-term funding, we can talk to private equity funds. Some of the private sector banks are giving funds at low cost but link the second part of the cost to our profitability. The range is between 2 to 25% depending on our performance. They call this participating preference shares. There are many innovative products and schemes.
I hope there is no risk in these deals. We should not end up in another trouble. I never realized that finance is so complex. Priya, can you arrange a training program on our current developments in financial markets for senior managers? I feel all senior managers of our company should attend the program. Many of them will be CEO in the next couple of years and they should not do the same mistake. Most of us are technocrat and not having much knowledge on financial markets.